Hi guys, so former Labour MP and founder of your party, Zarah Sultana, faced off with Danny Kruger, a former Tory MP who recently defected to Reform UK, and she handed him his backside to him on the issue of austerity. This was wonderful. Have a listen.
Well, certainly we are challenging the incumbent system, which has corrupted and bankrupted local government and is responsible for all of the problems, which is producing the sort of excessive politics of the left that we're seeing.
Excessive politics? So not having austerity,
well,
Danny,
yes,
which killed over 300,000 people.
Yes, indeed.
And has cut the average life by half a year. Austerity, Danny. You want to defend that on the BBC right now?
Well, I am going to say that we need public spending to be under control.
What does that mean?
It hasn't been for many years, and it needs to be. And we want absolute better outcomes for everybody, and particularly that means for the lowest paid families in crisis. The way we do that is not by pumping more and more money into a welfare system that produces long-term generational poverty, that breaks down families and communities. We need an economy that actually works. That doesn't mean taxing everybody to death.
How will austerity grow the economy, Danny? How will austerity grow the economy? That's not Keynesian economics, is
well,
it?
let me try and explain quickly. If you reduce taxation, you stimulate growth, you cause businesses to invest in jobs, you put money in people's pockets which they spend on goods and services. That is the way to get the economy growing. That is the way to fight poverty. Your model is socialism, and it doesn't work.
So I know you want to come in, and of course that's your come in, but
Oh my goodness. He was part of the party of austerity, and now he wants, as a member of Reform UK, to double down on austerity. We need to cut the size of the government. We need to provide the poorest people in society with less money. Now, of course, they will point to tax cuts. What we're going to do is cut taxes for people who are working, and this will mean that they will have more money and they will spend it in the local economy. But many people are not earning enough to get by. So if you even cut their taxes, you're not going to really make any difference there. Their wages are too low. That's the problem for many people who are working. And then all the people who are not working and who are relying on entitlements, support from the state, what's going to happen to them? They're the ones who are closer to the poverty line than those who are working. So the Reform UK approach is what we're going to do is cut taxes for people who are working, who are further away from the poverty line than the ones who are actually closer, who are not working. And tax cuts are not going to help those people. We're hearing more of the same. The Tories during the 2010s pushed the idea of what we need to do is reduce the size of the state, cut public services because we don't have enough money. And as Zarah Sultana pointed out, that resulted in 300,000 deaths. How did Danny Kruger respond to that? With indifference. These are the types of people we're talking about. People who have nothing but contempt for the poorest people in society. Complete indifference to the consequences of austerity. Why? Because people like him don't suffer the consequences of austerity. It doesn't matter how many government services are shut down. People like Danny Kruger and others in Reform will be perfectly fine. It's a party of the rich for the rich. It's about cutting the size of government so less taxes go to the most vulnerable in society. That's the whole modus operandi of Reform UK. It's about convincing the poor that their biggest threat, their biggest enemy is, of course, migrants. But the real goal, of course, is to reduce the size of government, to cut taxes for the most vulnerable, the richest in society, so that they see less of their money going to help ordinary people. Rich people, in general, don't like paying taxes, and they certainly don't like to see those taxes going to help ordinary people. They want to hold on to more and more of that, and they found a party, with the exception of the Tories, in Reform. They found a party that's on their side. And here you have it. Here you had Zarah Sultana pointing out that 300,000 people died as a result of Tory austerity policies, and Danny Kruger, a former Tory, was completely indifferent to that. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.